Okay, for today class, I will continue the previous slide, the previous topics, which is on the Musyarakah Mutanakisah for the financing part, okay, financing product. And then I will proceed with the next topic, which is um, risk protections, for the preparations for emergency or future protections, especially on the financial protections, because we are currently discussing about financial planning. So because we follow the framework of Islamic financial planning, so the first part, which is on the managing sources of funds, we have discussed about saving and also financing part. Okay, now risk protection. Okay, financial risk protection for today's topic. Okay, okay, I will share with you my slide on the previous topic. Okay, continue saving. We are done with saving contract and saving products. Okay, and then for the financing part, we have discussed about Ar-Rahnu, Islamic bond broking. And then we discussed about Tawaruk based financing. And then we discussed about Murabahah, markup sale based financing. Even though the financing is financing contracts, the supply of money from the bank or the financial institutions to the deposit unit, the one that need money, but the product actually based on the murabahah contract, because there is element of profit, okay, to be actually earned by the banking business. Okay, murabahah financing. And then ijarah financing basically is practiced in vehicle financings, ijarah summa al-bai, ITAP. And then for the conventional, they have a higher purchase financing, mainly for the vehicle financing. Okay, and then salam contract. I think I do not know whether I have covered or not. Salam contract. Salam contract is a buy and sell contracts whereby the subject matter is to be delivered in future. Okay. In banking practice, the home financings or vehicle financing, it not practice salam contracts. Usually salam contracts for business financing, small business financings, like financing for the farmer. Okay, and then I think only that, salam financing. And istisna, previously there is istisna based financing for the home financings, under construction financings, but because of there are risks for the under construction house, and nowadays only the house that nearly completed is allowed to seek financings from the bank, which is not using istisna contract, because istisna contract is actually buy and sell contracts for the future deliverings also. Okay, just the difference is in terms of payment, which can be done by stages. Okay, for istisna. For the salam contract, the payment must be done in full. Okay, during the contract is signed, even though the subject matter is delivered in future, but they need to pay in full the price. But istisna, it can be half of the payment by stages or deposit. Okay, istisna. Okay, and okay, so after that, BBA, we discuss about BBA, buy bitaman ajil, buy and sell contract with deferment of price, where there is elements of profit, and then everything must be detailed out, especially the profit rate to the buyer. Okay. And then and BBA is use BBA home based financings. If financing based on BBA, the price must be fixed, meaning that the profit rate is fixed throughout the tenure of financings. Like say for home financings, usually 20 years and above the period of financings. So along the period of 20 years, there is a fixed profit rate. Okay, so that is why it is not competitive enough with the conventional house financing, whereby conventional house financing based on floating rate. So floating rate, the rate of financings or the monthly payments will be different based on the market rate. It is more, I think, considered is cheaper, especially during this time, because there is a decrease in the profit rate, BLR, by Bank Negara. Okay, so BBA will offer a higher rate to the customer. And then after that, okay, musyarakah mutanah kisah. We are yet to cover musyarakah mutanah kisah. Not yet, So what is musyarakah mutanah kisah? From the word musyarakah, from the contract of musyarakah. Okay. Mutanah kisah is diminishing. Musyarakah is partnership contract, not a buy and sell contract. It is partnership contract. Okay, partnership between the customer and the bank. Okay, so in the principle, the principle of musyarakah contract is basically it is partnership whereby both parties, both partners, give portions of capital to start their business. Okay, in musyarakah mutanah kisah, it is diminishing partnership, whereby the portions of partners, the capital own is reducing every time the other partner pay the other partner's portion of capital. Like say between bank and the customer, bank will give customer 10% for the price of the house, because basically musyarakah mutanah kisah is adopted for home financings, not vehicle financings. For home financings, usually the banks will give 10% of the 10% lah. No, the banks will give 90% of the price of the house, and the customer will give 10% as deposit, but that is considered as price, a part of the price of the house. So 90 over 10%, it is considered as portions of ownerships toward the subject matter, or in this case toward the house. Okay, portions of their ownerships are 90% and 10%. So at the time the customer pay monthly installment to the banks, the customer basically will pay a portion, or will buy portions of ownerships from the banks. It's reducing. So at the end of the tenure, the customer is actually own 100% of ownerships of the house, because they paid the bank by monthly. Okay, so this musyarakah mutanah kisah consists of 3 contracts: musyarakah, ijarah and buy. Musyarakah is partnership, ijarah is leasing, buy is buy and sell. Okay. So the mechanism of this musyarakah mutanah kisah contract for home financing is home buyer and the bank jointly acquire own property, the one that I discussed. Bank lease its shares of property to home buyer on basis of ijarah. Okay. So the ownership, because at the initial stage the banks own 90%, but at that time, at the same time, the customer is given right to stay at the house. Okay, at the house. So when they stay at the house, consider that ijarah contract is applied, whereby the bank they lease the house to the customer. That is why the customer need to pay monthly. Okay, so when they pay monthly installment, it is considered as 2 parts. The first part is leasing, and the second part is the buying ownership. They buy ownerships of the house from the bank. So the home buyer is owner and then they become tenant in leasing contract. They promise to acquire period, period, periodically and then bank share of property. So they promise to buy at the end of the tenure. They promise to pay the leasing based on the period lah, monthly period. Then the home buyer pays rental to the bank under ijarah, which partially contributes towards increasing home buyers' share in property. Ada two portions. There are two portions when they pay a monthly installment, and then the risk and cost of ownership to be shared equally between the home buyer and the bank. This is among the challenging. It is challenge to the bank to share the risk or cost of ownership. When something happens to the house, cost of if the house is damaged, so they have to share. So how the banks going to share it, because they not only have one customer, they have a lot of customers. So how they are going to distribute or bear all the costs that happen. And at the end of the ijarah or the lease term, which is the terms of a financing term, upon payment of all ijarah rentals, customer would have acquired all of the bank shares and partnership with cheese. So customer becomes sole owner of the house. Okay, these are the mechanism lah of the musyarakah mutanakisah for home financing. So this is the mechanism. 20%, like in this case, is 20% customer pay, and the bank bear 80% of the house. So they are involving in musyarakah venture. Okay, so 3-1, the customer lease the bank shares and the ownership, and then the customer will use his portion from the lease rental amount to buy the bank shares in the property, and then the partnership will be terminated with the customer owning 100% of the house at the end of the tenure. So when it is transferred, it say buy and sell contract is happen at the end of the tenure. Okay, so at initial stage is musyarakah, during the period of financing is ijarah, at the end of the tenure of financings is buy and sell contract. Okay, this one another examples about the same. Example, the house price is 200k, so the customer contribute 10%, 20k, so the bank contribute 90%, 180,000. Period of financing is 20 years, and rental is 1,000 per month. Okay, so the rental rate is divided by the house price, 0.5%. This one rental rate. So in order to redeem the finances share within 20 years, the customer has to pay additional amount per month over the above rental. So they will calculate based on the tenure of financings. Okay, we just look at here. Let me make it bigger. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, the payment schedule for musyarakah mutanakisah. First month, okay, before the first month at initial stage, share of rental, customer and the bank, because they are partnership, if the customer pay monthly rental, both of them have right to receive the rental, including the customer. So their share of rental based on the percentage of capital that they contributed for the partnership. And then this one, the customer equity, the shares, ownership, share of ownership, and then the bank's 180,000. So monthly rental is 1,000. So monthly redemption 289. Okay, so total payment, this one rental for the banks, and this one the redemptions of the shares. Okay, so in total the customer need to pay 1,289,000 to the banks, whereby 1,000 is for the rental payment. Okay, and then the redemption is the ownership redemption. So when they pay the share of capitals, the customer 100, because share of rental 10% and 20% and 80%, isn't it? Okay, so 100 for the customer, 900 for the bank. Okay, this is just an example to understand how basically the monthly payment is divided into the rental share, and also the redemptions of the ownership or equity of the house. So okay, the customer equity from 20,000 then becomes 23,000. Okay, so the bank reducing, they pay the banks 180 minus 289 kan? Okay, so this one all don't worry, this is computerized. Okay, the bank just set all the equations, how much they want to have the monthly payments, and then the redemptions of the equity. Okay, and then the profit that charged to the customer is also calculated. This one just example. Okay. The comparison between BBA and Musyarakah Mutanakisah. BBA is buyer and seller, sell contract. This one partnership contract. The ownership risk to the customer, buy and sell. And then the Musyarakah Mutanakisah jointly customer and the financier or the bank. And the pricing fixed profit rate. The Musyarakah Mutanakisah variable rental rate. Because the monthly installment, which is the rental installment, need to be based on, because it is leasing, the rental rate. But currently, if rental rate is real rental rate on the locations of the house, but it is difficult for the bank to have a variety of rental rate based on locations. So the thing is, the bank use BLR, base lending rate, just stick with the financing rate. So I think the issue is it is not matched with the rental rates. Okay, because this one, the banks difficult to find the rental rates for the house, and it need to be tailored with the customer, with the house, with the locations, with the market rental rates, which is varies. Kan? So it is technical difficulties for the banks to follow the real rental rates. Okay. So the bank just follow a normal rate. So basically it is same with other types of financing contracts. If the bank wanted to use tawaruk, so the rate for tawaruk is same with Musyarakah Mutanakisah. So it's contradict with the ijarah contract. Okay, having issues there. And then the issue of joint ownership also issue for the bank. Okay, let's say there is leakings to the house, the bank should also bear the loss expenses. Then contracted amount fixed based on the selling price for BBA. So the Musyarakah Mutanakisah is flexible market rental rate. Basically no market rental rate. Rental rate is depends on the owner. Depends on the owner of the house. Kan, how much the rental price that they want to put based on the types of the house, based on the location, based on the market demand. Okay, but the thing is Musyarakah Mutanakisah is not depends on it. So it depends on the BLR, which is flexible. So the monthly installment, repayment of profit and the principals. This one repayment of rental and share of the redemptions of portions of the capital, the equity of the house. Treatment on profit, profit is capitalized in installment sum. Kan? And then for the Musyarakah Mutanakisah, profit is shared between customer and the financier. Profit is shared because this partner receive profit from the rental fee. Like here, kan? The share of rental. Even the customer themselves becomes the tenants. but when they pay 1,000 monthly rent, they have to split because they have portions of ownerships toward the house. Yeah? So it's quite complicated to calculate actually. Yeah. Then like say the customer pay monthly installment and then they will receive back the share of the profit from the rental. Basically that profit will be used to pay back the financings. Early settlement, banks decide on profit rebate or IPROC if the customer settle the debt the financing early, and then the early settlement is considered like the customer redeem more shares, like early settlement. Then changes in economic cycle, the fixed rate cannot be varied, thus mismatch of funds. So because it's fixed for BBA, the profit rate is fixed. It is not change, no changes on the profit rate for the BBA. So for the masyarakat mutanakisah, variable rental rates can address the mismatch of the fund variable because based on PLR. Okay, that's all for Musyarakah Tanah Kisah. So far, any question? There any question? Here?
Clear, madam.
Okay, thank you. So let's proceed with the next topic, which is on the risk. Okay. This slide is specially dedicated for this course. Basically, I have a different slide for my Takafu course. For the last, I think last year I teach Takafu, but nowadays no more. Okay, so I just touch about Takaful in this course. Okay, and as a part of the Islamic financial planning framework, okay, the parties or we also need to know about risk and then risk preparations or risk protection. Okay, so that is why in Islamic financial products, the products that closely related to risk protection is takaful. Okay, Islamic product lah. If conventional, they have a conventional insurance to protect the risk, the loss that happen because of risk. Kan? Okay, for Islamic product, we have a takaful planning. Okay, risk and takaful planning. Let's proceed. So in this course, I will introduce the risk management and takaful, principle of takaful, the differences between takaful and insurance, why we need to choose takaful, not the conventional insurance, and a sample of takaful products that practice in the market. Okay. So why takaful? Because of risk. If there is no risk in this world, takaful is not needed. We doesn't need the takaful or protection over risk. Okay, so what is risk? Risk is the possibility of harm, injury or loss. If the risk happens, the possibility of harm can happen, injury or loss. And then possibility of unfavorable outcomes. We do not favor the outcomes of the risk, maybe because of if the risk happens, we need to pay for the loss like accidents. If we incur with accidents, we need to be admitted. There is a hospital bill, and then we have to pay for the third party injury because of us, and we have to face maybe the mental illness, or we have to have affected emotionally, physically, isn't it? We do not want to the risk to happen. That is why risk is actually all about possibility and possibility of unfortunate event. Anyone of you that apa, like when the risk happen or welcomes the risk?
No, madam.
Question no kan. No one want to apa, having risk to occur. So but we do not know whether we will be tested or not, because risk also I think is a test also from Allah. Kan, when it is happens, there must be hikmah behind that, because Allah already mentions in the Al-Quran, for sure you will be tested, kan, in terms of money, wealth, in terms of family, in terms of mental, okay, you will be tested. Okay, if you say that you are the believer, then you should know that you will be tested. Okay, until you will be tested, then you are certain, Allah certain that you are among the believer. One of the Quranic verse stated about it. So that is why we need to be open heart when the risk happens. But the thing is, we need to make efforts to protect ourselves financially, emotionally, to protect our family upon the risk. Okay. Okay, so in other words, risk is actually perils, the main cause of loss. Okay, the risk becomes the main cause of loss. For example, fire, flood, collisions, accidents. Okay, in this context, we said the loss is financial loss lah, financial loss. And then hazard, the condition that increase the chance of loss, like a physical defective, physical hazard and moral hazard. Okay, where is my cursor? Okay, this is my cursor. Okay, like a physical hazard, the defective wiring in a building that increase the chance of fire. So these are the conditions that bring or may attract the risk or the peril to happen. Moral hazard, intentionally hurt oneself to collect insured claim amount. And if, let's say, intentionally jump from the high buildings and then commit suicide, so it is actually moral hazard. Okay, the thing is that types of moral hazard cannot be insured because it is intention. If there is intentions, we intentions to attract the risk happen so that we can be covered by insurance, we receive the insured claim money. So when it is found that, okay, the proof, when there is a proof, so we will not receive the insured amount. Okay, uh, so this one just the other terms of risk is peril. Okay, uh, and then the condition that increase the chance of risk is hazard. So risk in Islam, in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 155, is one that I mentioned before this. Okay, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنْفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and life and fruits, but give good tidings to the patients. So the patients here is the one that basically accept all the risks, all of the tests happens and make effort to face it. Yeah? And then riwayat At-Tirmizi, okay, this one the hadith on one Badawin, when the Prophet SAW saw a Badawin just left his camel untied. And then the Prophet SAW asked the Badawin, why don't you tie your camel first? Then the Badawin answered, I put my trust in Allah. Then the Prophet said, tie your camel first and then put your trust in Allah. So this is the concept of tawakal. If yes, Allah wants us to tawakal, just leave everything to Him. But at the first hand, we ourselves need to put effort. We are the one that determines the directions and put effort first, and then after that we can tawakal. We can pray to the Almighty. Okay, so also same with this hadith. Okay, the Badawin just simply say that I have Allah, I trust in Allah. Yes, the Prophet SAW said, yes, you trust in Allah, but you need to do your part first. do your part first, tie your camel first, and then you can put your trust in Allah. Okay, so same with the concept of risk. We know that there is possibility. We know that we will be tested. But what we do as preparations. Okay, so that is why as a part, one component in Islamic financial is planning. So one of the part is to prepare to face the risk, because when it is happen, it will affect our financial. Okay. Okay, so there are two types of risks. Okay, there are two types of risks. Some risks we do not expect it to happen. Most of the risks lah, basically we do not expect. Never expect that we will die tomorrow. Can we expect? Do you expect that you will die after this course? No, kan?
No, no.
No, but we do not know. It is possibility that we will die after the course tonight during the sleep. Okay, we never know. But we need to make a preparations if in case we die. What will happen to our wealth, to our family? Okay, that is actually a pure risk. Purely, originally comes without our expectations, without our invitations. Then we call pure risk. Okay, and second one is speculative risk, from the word speculate. The risk that we can speculate it to happen. Can you speculate any risk to happen in your life? Ani? Investment in stock. Investment, yes, risk investment kan. No investment that having no risk. But you can speculate based on certain factors like a market, like the historical data, historical profit, or the price, historical price. Then we can speculate. There is a not there is there are many theories on speculative, isn't it? Speculative theory. Okay, so these types of risks like investment in stock market, current foreign currency, into invest into a new business, it is speculative risk. We can speculate based on certain factors. Okay, so this type of risk will not be covered by the insurance or takaful. Okay, so why? Because the result of speculative risk can be loss, no loss, or profit. We can make profit from this risk, but in pure risk we cannot make a profit from it. Okay, so the result will be loss or break evens, no financial loss. Okay, financial loss or no profit from the pure risk. Okay. Okay, so now under purists, there are, so because of only purists will be covered by takaful, we will concern on purists only. Okay, so there are three types of purists. The first one is personal risk, second one is property risk, and third one is liability risk. So personal risk is a risk related to our life, personal life, like a death, premature death. Like normal death lah, this one normal death. Premature, because of we do not expect to die early. Okay, that's why premature. So most of us expect to die when we are old enough. Old enough, maybe 50 years and above, 60 years and above. So when we die before the age, before we expect the death, so it's called premature death. And second one is insufficient income during retirement. This is also a personal risk. Okay, we do not know, maybe we have accumulated or a lot of money for retirement, but we never know that we will fall sick when at the retirement age. Okay, 55 years old or 60 years old, then at that times you are diagnosed with certain illness. Na'uzubillah. Okay, it's also risk, unexpected risk, pure risk. And then poor health, yes. maybe today we are healthy, but tomorrow we never know. Uh, and unemployment rate, like current situations, we feel that the airlines sector is very stable, that give a very handsome money to the pilot, to the stewards. But we never know that COVID happened this year, and then most of them become unemployed. Okay, it is also types of pure risk. Okay. Okay, how about property risk? Risks that fall to our property. Okay, risks that fall to our property. What types of property that we have? We have a house, we have a car, we have a buildings, we have a land. Okay, so any risk that happens to our property, we call property risk, and it can be covered. Like a house, we have nowadays, the Takaful have offered fire house. Okay, fire takaful, fire house pula. Fire takaful, to protect all anything, any damage to the house, not only because of fire and because of other factors like earthquake, like any damages that happens to the house. And then under property risk, there are two types of risk or loss: direct loss and indirect loss. So direct loss is financial loss from physical damage, damage of the house, like destructions or theft. So house damage due to the flood. So it is physical damage to the house, is a direct loss, direct financial loss. Indirect loss, the financial loss that result indirectly from the occurrence of a direct physical damage. Maybe because of the flood, the owner also loss of money, loss of house appliances, the furnitures loss. Okay, so there is a coverage for this one. Okay, direct loss, there is a coverage for direct loss, and indirect loss, there is coverage for indirect loss. Basically, we call it as a um, householder, if I'm not mistaken, householder takaful, or it becomes a rider to the main takaful, fire takaful. So at the same time, the company or the operator will offer additional coverage. It depends on the demands or the needs of the owner. And the third one is liability risk. Risk of third party bodily injury or property damage because of us. Okay, we can also seek takaful protections to cover the third party that may because of us. Okay, like the first example, the court may order you to pay substantial damage to the person you have injured. Like motor takaful. Motor takaful is not only for motorcycle, but motor takaful is takaful for vehicles. Okay, takaful for vehicles. Usually, if you want to have renew our motor takaful, the takaful agents will ask us whether we want to take first party or third party. Okay, if we take a first party, we only cover ourselves, the car driver. Okay, if we take a third party, meaning that we cover both the owner as well as the third party, the victims. Maybe we injured, we hit somebody, kan, and then they have to be admitted to the hospital. So the bills will be paid by our takaful coverage if we subscribe to third party takaful. Okay. Okay, example two, business firms can be held legally liable for defective products that could cause bodily or property damage to the consumers who use these products. But they have products, cosmetics owner or seller. So they can have a takaful coverage to protect the consumer. Okay. And then the example is like university and the student. University is responsible to protect the student. In case anything happen to the student, there will be a takaful coverage that will cover all the financial loss to the to the student. The one is a liability risk, liability or responsibility of us toward the third party. Okay. Okay, now method of handling risks. We already know the types of risks. Now how to handle risks? Basically, it depends on us. We are the one that make decisions. Whether we are the one that under types of risk avoidance, we avoid the risk, we avoid the death. So how to avoid death? We cannot avoid the death. We cannot avoid the pure risk. And then risk retentions. We bear the losses. We retain the risk, and then just pay. And then risk reduction, we reduce the risk of maybe death early because of lung cancer. Then we do not commit with smoking. That one is risk reductions. We want to reduce the risk. Risk transfer, we transfer the risk to other parties. Like conventional insurance, the risk of the customer is transferred to the company. When anything happens to the customer, the company will come to help. Will pay them compensation. Okay. And then risk sharing is the risk is shared with other parties. When the risk happen, they are sharing to pay for the losses. Okay. So these are the types of risk, apa nama dia? Risk handling. You basically Takaful adopt risk sharing and conventional insurance adopt risk transfer. Okay, let's see how. Okay, Takaful and conventional insurance. Okay, so in Takaful basically is risk sharing, whereby when the customer approach the Takaful operator, they approach by carrying their risk. They not approach without any intention, isn't it? They bring the risk with them, and then they want to protect the risk. So what the Takaful operator will inform them, let's share your risk with other participants. We as a company, as business, we do not want to share your risk because it will be risk to us to maintain and sustain the business, isn't it? So let's share your risk with other participants that have the same interest with you. So we are, the operators say, we are only operator that are responsible to operate and manage and administer your the fund that you bring. Because this is a financial protection, isn't it? By sharing their risk, is actually they share the financial loss among them. So, what types of contract adopted? When you want to share your risk with others, actually you need to pay a monthly contribution. That contribution is deemed under tabarruk contracts or donation contract. When it is say like the customer, they pay monthly contributions, it is actually their tabarruk, their donations to others. And other customer, other participant comes and do donations. So a pool of donation funds, which is termed as Takaful fund, it is managed by Takaful operator. Okay, in case anything happens to one or few of the participant, the operator responsible to use the Takaful fund and to pay for the losses. Okay, that one is Takaful. How about conventional insurance? Conventional insurance adopt risk transfer concept. Okay, like unlike the Takaful, the contract that is adopted is tabarruk, donation contract. But the conventional insurance adopt buy and sell contract. What's the thing that the buy and sell? The risk coverage or the policy. The policy become the subject matter. What consists under policy? The policy consists of the coverage of risk. Okay, so now the customer approach the conventional insurance. Conventional insurance sell the insurance policy to the customer. The customer become policy holder. By selling the policy, the coverage to the customer or the policy holder, okay, it is And then the policy holder need to pay lah because they sell, this one buy. So the price is premium. The premium considered as a price for the contract. Premium is paid to the conventional company. Okay, so when it is happens, the risk of the policy holder is transferred to the insurance company. Okay, and then when something happens to them, the insurance company will come to pay for the losses. Given that the losses, the risk is stated in the policy, that becomes that the policy bulk or sold to the policy holder. If the risk is not stated, so no coverage will be given lah. Okay, it will be covered by the conventional insurance. Okay. Okay, because this is buy and sell contract, the money, the premium that paid to the conventional insurance is owned by them. That is why they are free to utilize that funds to make any non-Sharia compliant investment. Okay, whereas in Takaful, the contribution paid is not belong to the Takaful operator because they are only a manager of the fund. So the money that paid here, the contribution paid, is belong to all of them. They are in a group, in a Takaful scheme group. So the money belong to them. The Takaful operator is not free to utilize the fund. If they want to make investment must be comply with the Sharia, and they must inform the customer that the money that they pool will be invested to where? Sharia compliant investment. Okay, there's a difference between Takaful and conventional insurance. Okay, like here in this example, the participants, they share the risk coverage. They make a donation through tabarruk contracts into Takaful funds or risk fund, because the fund will be used to pay the risk, and then it is managed by Takaful operator. This is among the Takaful operators that in the appear in the Malaysian market, Malaysian financial market. Conventional insurance, it is buy and sell insurance policy. This is the coverage, risk coverage. Insurance company sell the policy to the policy holder. That's why the customer here we call policy holder. Takaful we call participant. They buy the policy. They transfer the risk to the insurance company. They transfer the boom. The boom is very risky, isn't it? Okay, the thing is, insurance company can make a lot of money because they involve with non-Sharia compliant investment. Okay, and then 3 prohibited elements that is practiced by the conventional insurance are riba, gharar, and maisir. Okay, riba or interest is actually in for the Sharia non-compliant investment instrument. And then maisir is a gambling. Ada tak slide after this? Okay, no. Okay, so maisir is practiced by the conventional insurance. Oh, riba, maisir, and gharar. This one supposed to be gharar lah. So maisir is practiced by conventional insurance, whereby it is gambling. Gambling. When the policy is bought by the policy holder, they pay the price of the premiums by only small portions, like a monthly they pay 200 ringgit, 300 ringgit. But the policy, the coverage here is very huge. Okay, like a death coverage, 200k, 1 million coverage. Coverage for cancer, 200k, 500k. Coverage for critical illness, you will get lump sums or cash, 50k, 100k. So the exchange of the exchange contract, buy and sell contract here is considered as gambling. Gambling, because the policyholder buy with a small amount. They expect to receive a huge amount in future. When anything happens, they will receive a huge amount of coverage here. Okay, it is not equal exchange of value. Subject matter and the price is not equal. It is considered as maisir. Okay, so another thing is When something happens, when the policy holder they buy the policy, they are hoping that something will should happen. Something will happen so that they will be rich in future. Okay, it is gambling lah. Okay, another thing is what is gambling means. If something happens, okay, the result will be one party will be the winner and the other party will be the loser. Kan? So in insurance contracts, when something happens, when the policy holder die, for example, they will get a coverage, 1 million coverage. So they or their family will be win. In this situation, the company will be loser. And when nothing happens to them, they cannot claim any cents. So they become a loser. The insurance company become a winner. This is a gambling. Okay. Whereby in takaful, the contract is a donation contract. When we donate, we do not expect, we shouldn't, not supposed to have that intentions to hope to receive a huge coverage in future. Okay. Usually when we donate, we are sincerely make donations without having putting any hope to receive any amount back in future, isn't it? So make donation. So when something happen to us, we just say, I'm grateful, Alhamdulillah, there is a protections. The other participants help me, assist me to pay for the coverage, for the loss. When nothing happen, Alhamdulillah, we receive a reward from Allah. It is win-win situations. Okay, no gambling. When something happens, we win. The other participant also win because they make donation, they receive a reward. When nothing happened to us, we also a winner because we already make donations. Inshallah, there will be a reward in the hereafter. Okay, given that we have a sincere heart lah, sincere intentions. Okay. Okay, riba, maisir, and this one gharar. So gharar is uncertainty. Which elements of the conventional insurance having uncertainty elements? The subject matter is uncertainty, which is the risk coverage also. The risk coverage is uncertain lah. Because this is only a protections. It is not happened yet. Okay, in Islamic contract, the subject matter, when we involve into a buy and sell contract, the subject matter must be certain. The subject matter must appear at the times of contract except for salam and istisna contract, and then the subject matter must be owned by the seller. Okay, but in insurance, because of buy and sell contract, and the subject matter here is the insurance policy, they stated the coverage for the risk, and the risk is not happened yet, and the money is not happened yet, it's not real, it just statements of the coverage, list of coverage, and it is considered as a major gharar. Okay, whereas in takaful, yes, there is a takaful coverage. Okay, first one, because of it is not buy and sell contract, and second one, it is donation contract. Usually in Islam, in donation contract, the subject matter for the donation contract, because it is not exchange contract, it is unilateral contract from one party only, so the subject matter does not necessarily exist for the donation contracts. We can say to our friends that I want to donate you 100 ringgit, but that 100 ringgit does not necessarily exist when at the times when we inform our friend that we want to make donation, isn't it? We can make donation tomorrow, but provided that we achieve or we perform our promise. Okay, so that is why gharar in takaful is tolerated, because it's not becomes the subject matter. Okay, the subject matter in donation contract here is the money itself. Okay, not the risk. The coverage will comes later on. Okay, because it is mutually donation, mutually indemnification, mutually assistance among the participant. It is not a bilateral contract. Okay, there is a maisir. Okay, just think about this. What is this? Hmm? Is this orange? Hello?
Kiwi, right?
Kiwi? Why the skin is orange?
Hybrid.
Ah,
Hybrid.
hybrid kiwis. Have you tasted? Have you found these types of fruits? Pernah nampak tak?
No.
Never.
No, no.
Okay, what we can say? The difference between takaful and conventional insurance when we look at these fruits.
On the outside, it looks the same, but
Hmm.
inside, it's totally different.
Yes, and the most important part is it the skins or the content?
The content.
Content, the taste and the content, isn't it? So then we can feel it, the fruits. Okay, it is actually kiwi because of the taste, the content itself. Okay, same with the takaful and conventional insurance. Okay, if people like usually say no difference between conventional insurance and takaful, basically there are differences. Okay, provided that the the practitioner and the user, the customer need to understand the spirit and the concept of takaful. Okay. Okay, existing takaful products, we have basically in takaful, there are two types of business, takaful business. We have general takaful business and we have family takaful business. General takaful business mainly related to general or other than human life, family, which is a car, a buildings, it is property. And family takaful is related to human people. Okay, family takaful our life, our job, our health. Okay, we refer back to the personal risk, personal risk. Okay, and general takaful is property risk, cover the property risk. So these are the examples, like say from takaful Malaysia. They offer takaful my motor, okay, and then takaful my house owner and takaful my fire. Okay, example. And then um okay, so basically we need to have the takaful coverage preparations for financial coverage starting from actually not starting from age 22 but starting I think in the mother's womb pun there is a coverage for the pregnant woman. Okay, so until and then born baby, just born baby, they also there is also coverage for newborn baby starting from I think 2 months coverage for them. Okay, and then after that these are the types of the products takaful for education, investment, the retirement, savings, health and protections. Okay, takaful also provide a saving elements. Okay, there is a products that uh, prepare a savings for the customer, saving for the Hajj, saving for education, saving for retirement. Okay, on top of the main objective of takaful is actually for protection for health and for the purists, health lah, health and death, health conditions. So these are the innovations in takaful. They provide a saving for education, at the same time they provide protection for health or any critical illnesses. Okay, more examples like takaful Hajj by AIA Takaful, covering health the coverage during Hajj and Umrah, coverage upon death, coverage upon accidental death during performing Hajj and Umrah, and then double coverage upon accidental death in public conveyance. And then the flexible one, we can add more rider, more additional benefit, and they also offer badal Hajj benefit. Okay, the fixed cash payouts every 3 years. So meaning that this one a cash saving elements. Okay, MAA Takaful, this one Takaful link for educations. This example lah. Takaful educations usually is taken by the family, the parents to their children. When the children attain a certain age, like say 18 years old, when they want to enter into higher tertiary education, university, so there will be a saving for them to pay for the tuition fee. And at the same time, along the tenure, there will be coverage for the parents and coverage for the children. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Okay. That's all for this topic. Any question?
Okay, doctor, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Yeah, here is Ibrahima. I have
Yeah,
some
Ibrahim.
two questions about the Takaful because it's
Mm.
very interesting topic. As you
Mm.
are saying that the content is different, but the form is like look same.
Mm-hmm.
What we know so far, like Takaful is insurance is a mutual guarantee based on the principle of Islamic finance,
Mm-hmm.
in which the parties share the risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say like I approach one of the company, like Takaful companies,
Mm.
to join the parties to be among the members, and I want to give the insurance to my property or my personal insurance.
Okay.
Okay, and then they ask me the money that I have to pay, so I pay the money, and I can see like over the year I don't have any problems, and my house or like my property doesn't have any problems. So for the next year, what will be happen? The Takaful will take the same money and to place for the next year, or what will be happen? That's my first question.
Oh, okay. So basically, the structure will depend. Okay, the practice or sorry. Okay, it depends on the types of takaful scheme that you participated.
Let's say the general Takaful, like I have property, I have house, and
Okay.
my house is insurance, and then next year my house doesn't have anything. I don't call for any reparation. There is no accidents. There is no fire. Anything happen, and next year what will be happen? I will pay again.
Okay, so basically, all takaful products adopt a tabarruk or donation contracts. So whatever the money that we have contributed into the scheme is actually already donated to the takaful fund, which will be used to help others. If nothing happens to our house, for example, so that's it. And then usually for fire takaful, we need to renew the takaful yearly. Like this year, we need to pay 500 ringgit, and then next year 500 ringgit. So what will happen? Nothing happens.
So they will not return back my money?
No. Because it depends on donation. We already donated the 500 ringgit to the pool of fund, takaful fund. It is not we pay to the takaful operator. We actually donated to the pool of funds which the operator manage. It's not, the operator will not enjoy the money, but basically the money will be used to help other participants that in need. Okay, understand?
So is that the same thing happen in the conventional insurance also? Yes, same thing. That's the same. The same thing happened also to the conventional because when I was in my country, insurance, like there is one big company, we call it NCR Genie, and it's the same thing happened. So when you pay for your insurance, if nothing happened to your properties or yourself, like your personal insurance, there is no refund. So it means like if the Takaful do the same thing, like in that context, that term of context is the same.
Okay, no, not necessarily, because in conventional insurance, the company enjoy the fund. The fund will becomes a profit to the company, for the insurance company. But in takaful, the 500 ringgit is not become the profit for the takaful operator. It will be added to the existing takaful fund. Okay, because in Takaful, there is a separate entity between the shareholder fund or the company funds and the Takaful fund itself. But in conventional insurance, we only have one fund, which is shareholder fund. Whatever money that they receive will be owned to the company, which is the shareholder fund, profit to the company. But in Takaful, it's not profit to the Takaful operator. Okay, and another thing is because Takaful adopt Tabarok. Tabarok contract is really stressed in Takaful. As a Takaful participant, we shouldn't have any intentions to receive it back because at the initial stage, we already understand that the contribution that we paid is basically donation in terms of donation. Okay.
Okay.
In the,
Okay.
the technicality, it looks the same. We do not receive anything back in return. For what purpose? If you want to
Okay.
receive any return, then we should go for investment. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, my second question about the Takaful is like one of the a common practice from conventional insurance. I want to know because there is everything, there is term and conditions. So here I want to know Takaful also insurance use the customer money to invest in one of the activities to generate the profit. If yes, after generating the profit, what they use for?
Okay. Okay. If you basically because in the discussion today, I skip many parts of Takaful. Maybe especially for the model, the types of Takaful model, the types of Takaful model. So in Takaful model, we have Wakalah model, Mudarabah model, and hybrid model. So Mudarabah models, basically the Takaful operator will make investment, on the fund because they receive a huge fund from the customer. The fund is not belong to them. They will manage. The way they manage, for sure they will make investment. Okay, the investment that they made, profit from investments will be returned back to the Takaful fund. Okay, another thing is this investment is based on Mudarabah contract. In Mudarabah contracts, the customer or the Takaful funds will become Rabul Mal and Takaful operator will become Mudarib. And profit is shared between Rabul Mal and Mudarib. So when the Takaful operator make investments of the Takaful fund, when there is a profit, they will share the profit based on the pre-agreed ratio that informed to the customer. Okay, they will share the profit between the Takaful operator and the Takaful fund. The Takaful fund, they will return back all the profit portions of the profit to the Takaful fund. Yeah.
Okay, Madam, there is one question that usually maybe make me very confused about Islamic products like Islamic finance is what you explain right now. Like whenever we talk about the profits, like there is no specification, real specification about the product because we are talking about insurance in general, Takaful. But there in Takaful insurance, there is many products, and that product also exists in Islamic products, which is Mudaraba. Mudaraba, as you said, like we have a contract of partnership where there is a Mudarib and Rabul Mal, which can provide the money, and one would be the entrepreneurs. Why, if I have my money, before to go to insurance like Takaful insurance, I should go to the bank and deal with the Mudaraba contract. Why? Always there is a when there is a Takaful, there is Mudaraba. I know that the bank of the Mudaraba who can give me Mudaraba contract, and I leave that and I went to Takaful, and Takaful also proposed that. So for me, usually I just think like there is difference because we are all Muslim. There is Islam, there is Islamic principle that we have to respect. But takaful, the practice, what I read, because I read some articles, there is not like, but most usually is the same. This from my thinking, because if my money that I give to the bank for insurance and I do not use it for the, like, it's not sadaka. If I want to do sadaka, I know where to give sadaka. If I want to do work, I know there is institution, specific institution where they can give sadaka also, or wakaf. But if I go to insurance, is to save my money and to save my the properties and my insurance. So if I spend 1 year without anything, and the second year I have to pay another money, so it means, for me, my thinking, it look like same.
Okay. Okay, so first, okay, in fiqh muamalah, in the Islamic transactions, we have a list of Islamic contracts, variety of Islamic contracts, okay, the one is types of contracts, like a contracts of tabarruk, contract of mudarabah, musyarakah, murabahah. The one is types of contract. And these types of contract is adopted by the Islamic financial institutions to offer their products, which are suitable. Not all products suitable with all contracts. Okay, like we have discussed about financing product offered by banks, like we have Ijara, we have BBA, we have Rahnu, for example. That's only applicable in the banking, but in the takaful, it's different. The takaful business and banking business also different. Okay, so certain contract is suitable to be applied, to be practiced in the takaful, because takaful is actually a insurance business. Insurance business provide protections. That the main purpose of the takaful business. So in the technicality, there are some parts that the takaful are similar with the conventional one, because they are in the same industry, which is risk management, management, risk protections. So for the takaful operator, they want to eliminate the elements of wara, the three prohibited element. That is why they adopt a contract that is suitable. So far the best suitable contract that can be applied in giving protections to the customer, to the public, is through a mutual cooperations contract, which is practiced during the Prophet time. Okay, during the Prophet times, there is a systems of akilah systems of group, Qabilah. Group A, Qabilah B, Qabilah B, AC, Qabilah D. So many groups of peoples, they practice system of akilah, whereby the group members in one group, they will contribute a fund monthly or regularly. The contribution that is agreed by all members, like say 50 ringgit monthly. So all members will contribute. So the leader will pull the fund and manage the fund, and the other kabilah also, the other group also do the same, because this is a system of akilah. If in case the group A kill one member from group B, so the leader will use the fund that they pull to pay for the compensation. Okay, the compensations to the victims, family of Kabilah or group B. So these are the system that already practiced during the Prophet times. That is why in Islamic insurance, to eliminate the gharar, the buying and selling of uncertainty, which is the risk coverage, it is not suitable because it is uncertain. So based on the previous practice during the Prophet times, that is why the practitioner or the government, the authority at that time, the Islamic scholars was thinking to adopt the same for the takaful business. So the takaful adopt about the same. It's a group of people, the participant, they pay a contribution is actually to protect their family and also to protect if anything happens to the third party they are liable to. Okay, so they are willingly to do a contributions, and then takaful operator becomes not a leader at this time because we adopt a business of takaful or takaful tijari. So there will be a third party that is independently, so that they will not bias to any of the participants. Independent body that manage the fund, okay, become a trustee on behalf of this group of participants. Okay, so the main intention is a contributions, so that if anything happens, that contributions can be regarded as assistance to pay for the financial losses. Okay, so that's the practice of takaful. So in other words, the member basically they make a contributions based on donations principle, donation spirit to help others. And at the same time they help themselves, they help their family members. So if nothing happens to them, that's okay because they have the intentions to help others that are in need. Okay, that's making
Okay.
a difference with the
Okay,
conventional.
okay, madam, I understand that, but that's I
Mm,
understand that if you want to help your friend also or
mm,
your community, like as a
mm,
Muslim community, you can do the donation to Wakaf, you can do the donation for Sadaqat. There is many ways to do.
the one is just a normal donation.
Okay, no problem. Okay,
Mm,
the last question is about what you explained earlier, the
mm,
BBA, the differences between BBA and Musraka Aja Mutanakisha.
mm,
Yeah, you touch one part, the sixth part, like the treatment on profit, how they did the treatment on profit, and about the BBA, you were saying that the profit is capitalized in installments, so that that installment is about all the payment, the how to call it,
monthly.
the total payment or the monthly payment.
Mm, mm. Okay, for example, the house price is 100,000,
Mhm.
and then the profit for, let's say, for 20 years, the profit is 50,000. So how to calculate the monthly installment is capital, the house price is 100, the principal of financings 100k plus 50k, then equals to the total price of the house now becomes 150k. So divide by 20 years. So the monthly installment is capitalized all together, profit plus the principal. Okay, then how to know the monthly installment? Divide by 20 years and divide by 12 months lah to get to know the monthly installment. Okay, you get it?
Sorry, 0.62.
Ah, 0.62.
Yeah, monthly.
62 cents what?
Yeah, 25625 is
Ah,
10. Like it means like 150,000 divided
okay,
by 20 years,
divide by 20, how
and
much?
then divided by like 100
150,000
150,000 divided by 20, and you have
divide by,
75,000.
okay, and
No,
then divide by 12.
5,000.
Divide by 12
Divided by 12.
because 1
Divided
year
by
is
12.
12 months.
Yeah, 625 ringgit.
So monthly installment is 600 plus.
600 plus.
Capitalized total up. The profit is total up in the principal of financings.
Okay, okay.
Okay, thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Yeah, thank you.
Any questions from the rest? No question?
No, madam.
Okay. So if there is no question, is it clear with today's discussion? Are you clear?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So it is we are finished. We are done with the topics for today. Okay, so inshallah we will resume our class on next week. Okay.
Okay, madam.
We can play Maghrib now after this.
Okay.
So
Madam,
yes.
what about the topic that we are dealing right now? The about the project?
Okay, have you informed me your topics?
Yes, and you
Okay.
approve it, and now I'm working on it.
Yes.
So that we will present, or we will just do the
We just do
report.
maybe next week. I want to know your progress.
Okay, no problem.
Can everybody just present 5 minutes on the progress of your mini research? Okay, next week, yeah. So that you are prepared for the submission. The other next 2 weeks, isn't it?
Okay. So for the presentation, we have to make a slide, or what we have to do?
It depends on you. If you want to make a slide, then okay. Just want to know the progress.
Okay.
Okay, easy slide lah. Okay. Or you just want to talk, then it should be okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. So we end our class today with Surah Al-As and Tasbih Kifayah.